Hey, what's going on, everybody? GZTV back with another one. What the fuck? Okay, hold on 1 second. We're back with another one, and we have Better Call Saul, the season opener of season 2. I don't know what Ian's doing over there. Maybe he wants to hop on. He might interrupt the video. That's pretty normal. We're going to get through the plot and the critical reception of the season opener for season 2, and hopefully tonight I can, if Ian doesn't want to play, I'll watch Walking Dead and Better Call Saul. I will probably hold it on Dexter for a little bit. I like this series. It's just I need to figure out how to get my TV and stuff situated. So yeah, let's get into the plot. There's always an opening and a main story. So on a flash forward that follows the events of Breaking Bad, Gene manages a Cinnabon store in Omaha, Nebraska, kind of like we've been alluding to Saul Goodman eventually becoming a Cinnabon manager, kind of as his retirement job from being a lawyer, kind of his cover up. He becomes the owner of a Cinnabon, and we will probably see that towards the end of Better Call Saul. Kind of how his story unfolds, because Breaking Bad gets very late in the show gets introduced and highlighted. So yeah, Saul, Cinnamon store in Omaha, Nebraska. A lot of references to that, and this is a pretty funny opening sequence here. Saul being Saul and doing the funny things he does. Yeah. So in closing for the night, he accidentally locks himself in the mall's dumpster room. So he obviously, he locks himself in there. He contemplates using an emergency exit, but does not because the alarm on the door would notify police and let them know that, like, hey, some intruder could be in the store, and Saul could honestly get busted because the police have no idea that he is managing the Cinnabon. A janitor lets him out nearly 3 hours later, but Gene carved SG was here into the wall with a screw while he waited. So if you've watched Breaking Bad, you know who SG is. That's Saul Goodman, and why the show is called Better Call Saul. That his slogan. He is like one of the most marketable lawyers in Albuquerque. So that's kind of his slogan. Why the show is called that. I mean, I would like for people to watch this all the way up until Jesse and Walt get introduced. There's definitely a way, and you can probably look up on the internet how to watch the Breaking Bad franchise. Obviously, El Camino comes at the end, but these two shows, pick and choose which one you want to watch first. It doesn't really matter because there are two separate storylines here, with Walter being the main character of Breaking Bad and Saul being the main character of this Better Call Saul. So yeah, let's get into the main story. So Jimmy declines Davis and Maine's employment offer and goes on vacation at a luxury hotel under an assumed name. So he decides to kind of retire. He wants to quit from the law, so he goes to this luxury hotel and kind of chooses a different name. It's probably Saul Goodman. I don't know. We weren't really revealed that. Kim confronts him, but Jimmy is content since his reason for becoming a lawyer was to impress Chuck, who is not supportive and who isn't impressed by his work as a lawyer. So obviously, Jimmy, Saul, whatever, he's still Jimmy McGill technically. But yeah, he's not impressed, so why would I still be a lawyer? That's the whole reason to be doing this, which is kind of weird and foolish of him to do so. Jimmy convinces Kim to help him con Ken, an obnoxious businessman, into paying their expensive tab at a tequila bar. Do you guys remember from Breaking Bad, the guy that was like talking really loudly on the headset? He was doing that at the bar. He's like this, like, he's like a businessman that's like into stocks and stuff like that, and he's like talking to client and stuff on the phone. That might knock on the door here momentarily, but so yeah, he pays an expensive tab. There's $50 shots, so he spent $150 on people he didn't know. Thrilled by the experience, Kim keeps the elaborate bottle stopper as a souvenir and spends the night with Jimmy, but says she does not want to participate in this behavior all the time. It's just an every once in a while thing. She thinks it's going to be fun to kind of do what this is Saul Goodman here. This is the con man that we know from Breaking Bad. But yeah. Jimmy takes the job with Davis in Maine and finds that benefits include an expensive company car as well as the Coca-Cola desk he always wanted, and on his demand there's like a guy that can do whatever he wants. So he's finding the luxuries of being a lawyer at an actual law firm. It's a lot better than being self-made and working in an office. There's like glitter on my TV. Jimmy notices a wall switch in his new office, which is a note posted on it indicating that it should never be turned off, and the curiosity gets the best of him. He's wanting to know, of like, does this company have any secrets? So, yeah. He turns it off and waits a moment to see what happens. When nothing does, he turns it back on. Something crazy probably happened, and that's possibly a developing storyline with this show. What happens when you turn that light switch on? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out next episode. So Mike refuses another job with Daniel Wormold Price, that's kind of his con man name, who has spent some of his money on a flashy and expensive new Hummer that Mike believes will draw too much attention, make him look like a flexer, make him look like a flashy guy. Mike wants to be humble, and you kind of have to be humble when you're in this con man business, when you're a criminal. You don't want to like put yourself out there and get shot and killed or something. Kind of like how these rappers are like flexing and then they get shot up out of nowhere. Mike doesn't want that happening to the two. So Daniel fires Mike because he believes he no longer needs a bodyguard, ignoring Mike's warnings that it is not wise to deal with Nacho alone. So then we get this tense moment where we get this tense moment where we're like, is Nacho going to take action against him now that he doesn't have Mike and now that he doesn't have like a bodyguard? Because all this time Mike was kind of an intimidation factor. You know, he's not like a guy you want to mess with, and that's kind of what he was hired to do. So not wise to do with Nacho alone. So, yeah, Nacho takes advantage of Mike's absence to obtain Daniel's address and real name from the papers and the Hummer's glove department. So he goes in his Hummer, looks at his registration papers and stuff like that, gets his address and stuff. So now he knows where this guy lives, and that's going to lead to what happens later on in the episode. So yeah, you did need Mike because he was sitting in the passenger seat and he was kind of protecting your vehicle, protecting your identity when you didn't know it. And maybe Mike didn't realize he was doing that, but Nacho found a way to take advantage of the moment and be an actual criminal and be the ruthless guy that Tuco hired. So Daniel's house is ransacked and he calls the police, upset that his valuable baseball card collection has been stolen. Now this is a really weird character. This Daniel guy has been peeking in and out of the series for a couple of episodes now. Holy shit. Okay, they're about to play music out there, so hopefully it doesn't get too loud. I'm trying to kind of wrap this video up to kind of go out there and see what's up. But, yeah. So the responding officers are suspicious about the nature of the burglary because valuable items, including Daniel's computer and TV, were left untouched. And he's trying to say baseball card collection. And he's trying to make them think that the money that Nacho ransacked were baseball cards to hide himself as a criminal. Criminal on criminal crime. It's kind of interesting. They are also suspicious of his Hummer. You know, he's not living in the finest, dandiest house ever. So when they see he is driving a Hummer, they're like, what the fuck is this? So when they search inside his house, the officers find a hidden wall compartment behind his couch, apparently located and emptied by the burglar. It's probably got drug money in it. They're getting suspicious, and they're probably going to rat a bunch of people out. So, positive reviews from critics on this episode, 93% rating, 8.4 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is pretty much an ultimatum for film, really. Switch succeeds in taking its sweet time while laying nuanced groundwork for the anticipated transition from Jimmy into Saul. That's probably going to be one of the best moments in the show when Jimmy does this. 8.5 out of 10 on IGN. Switch marks a solid return for Better Call Saul as we begin to see the how of Jimmy's transition into Saul Goodman be explored. It was obviously a hoot to assume acquaintances with Jimmy, Kim, and Mike. B+ on the AV Club. Pretty good episode, pretty good. Again, it lays the groundwork like the reviewer said, and again, I'm going off critical reception. I don't really have much to say. I think it's a good episode. It's very important in the series, I guess. It lays the groundwork. I'm going to say that over and over. That's kind of the purpose, you know. A season premiere will do that, especially in the second season after something that you hardly can top in television, and that is the first season of a TV show. I don't know. I haven't seen a TV show where the seasons get better that often, but I'm out. Have a good rest of your guys' night.